we have Caitlin Clark versus Sabrina Ionescu and Breanna Stewart and Aaliyah Boston. Also, I have to mention her as well.
AB.
How do you think this game and this series or this game is going to play out? Do we have a little bit of maybe a finals preview in this one, Kasey?
You know, I think after seeing the leap that the Fever took after the Olympic break last season, you saw a team trending in a really good direction.
Yeah.
And the only changes they made amplified this roster. So, like, as clutch as Clark is, it doesn't have to be all on Clark. They added the right veteran pieces, which I liked. Boston, she's sick.
Yeah.
She's been fun to watch. And then I always thought that, like, Mitchell being in the mix, they started to get a really good rhythm between her and Clark, and it's just like, it's wild.
Right.
When you start getting those kind of connections going on the court where, like, it's say less and produce more, Clark and Mitchell have that, in my personal opinion. So I feel like they could take that next step. A little wobbly here and there sometimes. I think beginning of the WNBA season, which was just like last week or whatnot,
Friday.
You saw about 4 or 5 double-digit contributing factors on that roster. I just need to see that more consistently so that it's not always the Caitlin Clark show, which is a fun show. But if you're going to have a deep run, like Liberty got humbled in the sense of always relying on Stewart. And that's why they had to kind of restructure, adjust so that they can bounce back against the Lynx when it came to the finals and then take over. So just having that more consistent depth, I think, matters.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, them adding Natasha Howard, adding DeWanna Bonner this year, they expected a lot out of them, and they haven't shown that a lot just yet. Natasha Howard has been, really good for them, but DeWanna Bonner has been a little bit disappointing. As far as this game goes, I'm really excited to see this matchup between the bigs and the guards. It's one of those things where it kind of is like peering into the future a little bit of what, Sabrina and Stewie have done, winning the championship there in New York. It's like, hey, is Aaliyah Boston and Caitlin Clark going to have an opportunity to win a championship or multiple championships for the Fever in the future? I think this is a game where the Fever are going to come out with a lot of energy, especially after coming off of that loss that they had in their last game. Obviously, they played tonight as we're recording this as well. But after coming off of that loss, they're looking for opportunities to snap back, get back in the rhythm, and show people that they are the team that they, people are pegging them to be. I have a lot of friends, who really, really are deep diving into the WNBA, and they're like, I can't see the Fever not winning a championship this year. And I'm like, whoa.
Year.
Caitlin Clark, year 2, Aaliyah Boston, year 3. You really think that they're going to be able to do this? And, people are really high on them. I have a friend that has a parlay bet on them as well to win the championship as well. So, people are putting a lot of stake into this Fever team. And if, we talk about narratives in the NBA and if the NBA is scripted and all this other stuff, if the WNBA is scripted, then, obviously Caitlin Clark winning the championship or at least going to the finals would be a big deal. I wanted to ask you, which matchup are you more excited to watch? Breanna Stewart versus Aaliyah Boston, or Sabrina Ionescu versus Caitlin Clark?
Ooh. I'm going to say Boston because you're talking about a matchup that can get pretty gritty between the two. AB's got to sometimes turn up that dog. And, while Caitlin Clark will do it, it's not, in my personal opinion, it's not that natural. I think it's more of her skills speak for herself, but the whole situation that went down between Clark and Reese and whatnot, AB kind of had a funny post-game presser about it that was just kind of I'm in it because it's my girl and da-da-da-da. So just kind of having that extra grit, I feel like that one can get a really into the weeds between matchup-wise. But where I do get a little nervous when it comes to this matchup is you've got Natasha Cloud. And you're talking about another layer to a ferocious Liberty team that's going to try to make a statement because it was can New York finally do it? Can they finally do it? Can they finally do it? They go to the final and then they pull it off. But I feel like there's going to be even more weight on their shoulders to run it back.
Yeah, you talk about Natasha Cloud, and we didn't even talk about Jonquel Jones. I think those two are going to be the reason that the Liberty end up winning this game. As far as the future goes, we're going to have to see how good this Indiana Fever team really is. The matchup that I am more excited about is Sabrina and Caitlin Clark, just because Sabrina hasn't gotten off to the start that we thought that she was going to get off to, but she is a very competitive woman, and we know she loves to take on the challenge anytime she has the opportunity to do so. And Caitlin Clark does pose challenges. She shoots the ball from half court. She does a lot of great things for her team. She's going to rebound. She's going to get assists. She's going to do a lot of that stuff. And people are probably already pegging her as a better player than Sabrina Ionescu is. And I think Sabrina doesn't like that. Two people who probably should have won NCAA championships, but they didn't have the opportunity to do that. So, you know, the matchups are going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch this game. Yeah,
I think we'll learn a lot about both teams in terms of that championship caliber and conversation. But look, WNBA, they've got some interesting momentum swings when it comes to the halfway point of the season, and that's not with the Olympics embedded in it. And with the new team, the Valkyries entering in the mix and stuff like that, it's going to change the dynamic on a few things. So I'm not going to count out the Fever, but the Liberty made enough moves, and they've got enough girls firing on the right cylinders to make it extra competitive.